let's talk about bull-put spreads. And I'm actually surprised that not a lot of people know about the bull-put spread, since it's a topic we discuss quite a lot in my Discord channel. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Before we look at the bull-put, it's important to cover what is a put option. A put option is a contract that allows the holder to sell 100 shares of a security at a specified price at any time before expiration. To a put seller, it just means that you may be obligated to buy 100 shares at the specified price at any time before expiry. Options also have a premium attached, and if you look at an options chain, you'll find a bid and an ask price. The bid price is what people are willing to pay, and the ask is what sellers are asking. And you'll need to multiply it by 100 to get the contract price. Now, when it comes to selling options, brokerages require a lot of capital because you might actually need to buy the underlying security. So they want to be sure that you can actually buy it. However, one of the biggest benefits about selling bull-put spreads is that they allow you to sell put options with a very small account. Sometimes with even $1,000 or $2,000, your brokerage will allow it. A bull put, also known as a short put spread or a put credit spread, is a strategy that earns you money right off the bat by selling a put option and then buying another one on the same underlying asset and at a lower strike price, usually at the same time. For example, let's say you decide you're going to sell a bull put on XYZ Corporation. Well, you might sell the $100 strike put expiring next month. And then when you complete the trade, you'll buy the lower strike, let's say the $90 strike put, also expiring on the same date. The reason you buy the lower strike is for insurance, and it keeps the brokerage happy. And in return, they won't hold nearly as much margin hostage than if you sold a put option alone. So how do you profit from a bull put? Well, in this case, as long as XYZ trades above $100 at expiration, all the options expire worthless, and you hit the maximum profit on the trade. Once you place your orders and they get filled, you'll receive the credit, which will be the maximum profit on the trade. So let's say you collected $3 a share, or $300 net per contract. The maximum loss is the difference between the strikes minus the premium received. So your maximum loss would be $700. And that's what I love about credit spreads. The risk and reward are defined at the start of the trade. You already know the maximum profit and loss at the beginning. The bull put will also have a break-even point, and that's where it'll be somewhere between the long and the short strike. And I'll show you where to find it when we screen for potential trades with a very high chance of profiting. So stick around because I'm definitely going to show you how it works. As the name suggests, the bull put spread is used when market outlooks are bullish, which they usually are, at least more often than not. So the bull put strategy profits when the underlying asset's price trades above the short put strike at expiration. That's why it's best to use it when markets are moving up and not down. Okay, so I am a visual learner. I need to learn by seeing. So I am going to show you how bull puts work visually. So feel free to follow along. First, let's head on over to barchart.com. I like barchart because a lot of what I'm going to show you today is available for free on the website. It's the only website that I know of that'll allow you to screen for option strategies with a free account. But if you do decide to upgrade and you want to support the channel, please use this QR code or click the link in the description. The paid account unlocks a ton of additional features that'll allow you to fine-tune your searches. Okay, so let's go to barchart.com if you aren't already there. Click on Options here at the top, and then click on Bull Put Spread. Now, already, right off the bat, you're going to get some potential trades that you can use. As you can see here in the results page, you have the stock symbol, its last trading price, suggested strikes, and most importantly, probability of profit. Now, most of these have about a 50-50 chance of profiting, even with an even risk-reward ratio. But I'm not sure about you because this isn't close to the chances of profit that I'd like the trades to be at. We want to be at 70, 80% chances or more to profit. So to get that, we're going to need to customize the filter, and that's really easy to do. Just click on the Set Filters tab. As you can see, the first filter is days to expiration, or DTE. This indicates how many days the option still has before expiration, which is important because for bull puts, the longer you have to expire, the better. You see, time works in your favor because there's a lot of time to close the trade at a profit. As time goes on, all things being equal, options will lose value. And as options lose their value, well, you can close out the trade at a profit. Also, the more the underlying security moves up, the more the premium will fall, and this also works in your favor. And I'll talk more about that in a bit when we get to properly timing your exit. Now, personally, I like to trade bull puts that expire within 60 days. This is because time value makes up a significant part of the option premiums with longer days to expiration, or DTE. With longer DTEs, you get a higher premium, which in general means higher profit. And as I said, longer DTEs allow you time to close or adjust your trade if necessary. You won't be as pressed for time as when you're trading weekly or daily options, which in my experience is a plus. Also, the more time you have, the less likely you are to make rushed, knee-jerk reactions in trading. Though, to be fair, I think the best way to trade is to have your strategy set up with your entry and exit points at the get-go. And I'm going to show you how to do that just in a bit. Now, with DTE out of the way, let's make some simple adjustments to the other filters. You can have a look at the ETF for security types, and if you check this box, the results will include ETFs like SPY, QQQ, or IWM. For the purpose of this video, we're going to stick to stocks only, but you can change or click this if you need. Next, I'm going to head down to the bottom where we have OTM probability. For strategies like bull puts that start with a net credit, the best case scenario is for all options to expire worthless or out of the money, which means the underlying price needs to be higher than the short strike at expiration. The higher the OTM probability, the higher the chances of you keeping the net credit in full at expiration. But remember, the higher the OTM probability, the lower potential profit you have. So there's a bit of a balancing act that you're going to need to figure out for yourself. For me, I like to trade bull puts with high probabilities of being out of the money. So I'd set this to look for trades with a greater than 80%. After those changes, I'm going to hit See Results. And there we have it, a bunch of bull put trades that have high probabilities of expiring out of the money. Now, you might also notice probability of profit up here. This tells us the chances the trade will earn at least a penny at expiration, while OTM probability tells us the chances that you'll get maximum profit. So you can see with these results that the numbers are pretty close. So let's have a look at this list. You can start by clicking on the max profit headline, and it'll sort all of the results by maximum profit, starting with the highest value. Now, since one option means 100 shares, you can multiply the max profit by 100 to get the net credit on the trade. So this one will make $234, this one will make $214, and this one $197, and so on per contract. And of course, you can certainly sell more than one contract or one of each. It's up to you. And if we look at the OTM probability column, We're in the low 80s, which means the chances are quite good that the trade will hit its maximum profit condition. So, you should pick one that makes the most sense for you. Now, you also have to know the other side of the trade, and that's the maximum loss. Now, these trades have a maximum loss of around $2,200 per contract. Actually, one is $2,700. But the chances of losing 100% of your money on these trades are low. Regardless, if that's too high for you, you can pick a trade with a lower risk-reward ratio. But here's the thing. A lower risk-reward means a lower chance of profiting. Have a look. Now, if I go back to the set filters and change OTM probability to say 70 and click See Results, and then click the risk reward, well, now you can see the lowest ratios here are around 3 or 4 to 1, but the probabilities are lower as well, around 70%. Now, for me, I'm happy in the 80s because for me, that's what matters most, is the short put. The long put acts only as insurance. It's a worst case scenario. So let's go back to where we were before, and I'm going to set this back to 80, and we can pick one from the list. And of course, I'm going to click on max profit. Now, you can play around with this and pick the trade that you like. However, for this video, let's pick the first one on the list, and I'll dissect the trade into its individual parts, and then we can see how the trade might play out and what we can do about it. So the first trade on the list is a bull put on Microsoft that expires on February 21st, exactly 30 days from the time of the screen. If this was the trade that you wanted to make, you could sell the $400 strike put, collecting $3.15 a share, and buy the $370 put, paying 81 cents a share, for a total net credit of $2.34 a share, or $234 per contract. Now, if you're wondering how the math works, the net credit on a bull put trade is the premium earned less the premium paid. The short option has an 83.39% chance it'll expire out of the money, so these are very good odds. However, the risk-reward ratio is a bit high at 11.82 to 1. That's because the maximum loss on the trade is $2,766. But again, the chances of that happening are very low, and with 30 days to expiration, you have lots of time to adjust or close the trade, which I'm going to show you how to do it shortly. So with this trade, you'll earn the maximum profit as long as Microsoft's stock price trades above $400 at expiration. And if it does, both your puts will expire worthless and they'll disappear from your account. Now, if the price of Microsoft stock trades between the two strikes, you may or may not have a profit. If we have a look, the break-even price on the trade happens at $397.66. In case you want to calculate the break-even on a bull put, subtract the net premium from the short put strike. So as long as Microsoft trades above that price at expiration, you make a profit. Otherwise, the trade starts to turn to a loss. And here's what a profit and loss table would look like. As you can see, as long as Microsoft stock stays above $400, you'll earn the $234 on the trade. Well, you'll get to keep it. If Microsoft trades a little below 400, the trade will give up some of its maximum profit. And if it trades below the break-even, it starts to lose money up until the $370 mark. And that's your floor. That's the insurance that I was talking about at the beginning of the video. At that point and below, the trade hits its maximum loss, so you're covered no matter how much lower it goes. Now, as a risk-averse investor, I like the chances on this trade, but I also think it's super important to also set my profit and loss points at the beginning of the trade. So now let's talk about when to exit the trade. Now, remember when I said that 90% of people lose money trading options? Well, in a lot of the cases, it's because they didn't get out in time. In general, experienced traders will exit when the option achieves about 70% of its potential profit. Or if it's a loser, it loses approximately 1.5 to 2x its profit potential. So in this case, 70% of $234 gives us a profit point of $163.80. So let's round it to $164. And a 1.5 to 2x max loss gives us a max loss of between $351 and $468. So let's split the difference and say $400 over and above the premium. So in this case, if your broker allows it, you can create what's called a bracket order and set the take profit point at a premium of 70 cents or $70 per contract. And in case you're wondering how the math works, well, you collected $234 on the trade and then you close it for $70, and that leaves you with $164. So that's just over 70% of the max. And remember, as time goes on and as the stock stays above the $400 strike, that premium will continue to go down. That's because with put options, the premium moves in reverse to the price of the stock. Stock goes up, premiums goes down, right? And vice versa. So that's the take profit point. Now let's look at the potential stop loss point. By the way, in case you're wondering, I'm using Interactive Brokers, well, their mobile app, to do this trade. Now, if the stock moves in the opposite direction and starts to move towards the $400 short strike, well, now the trade has got an issue. So add the net premium to the maximum loss that you'd accept, and that's a stop point of $634. What you can do is set the stop loss on the trade to $6.34 a share, or $634 per contract, and that becomes your stop. Now remember, these exit points are going to be triggered when premiums hit either $6.34 or 70 cents a share. It doesn't mean you'll get those prices, especially if there's a sharp movement in the underlying overnight. But having these set up at the beginning of your trade will ensure that your brokerage works for you to get you the best possible outcome. It's kind of like an AI agent working for you to keep as much profit in your account as possible. Anytime you sell an option, there's assignment risk to consider. This doesn't have to be a big deal, just something that you need to be aware of and ready for. When selling a put, you need to be ready to buy 100 of the underlying security at the strike price at any time until expiration. But it doesn't mean it'll actually happen. Actually, very few options ever get assigned early. And that's because if the options are profitable, there'll be additional time value left, which will make it more profitable to sell it back to the market. However, if there were a time that the option would be exercised early, it would be when it's in the money. That means the underlying security will trade below the short strike. In the case of the Microsoft example, the short option will be in the money if Microsoft stock trades below $400 at expiration. Now, as I said, most options don't get assigned before expiration because there's extrinsic value or time value that's baked into the option premium. So the holder will almost always make more money selling the option back to the market than if they exercised it. So this isn't a risk that I'd worry about, but it's something that you need to know. However, if you are assigned, I don't know, maybe the option holder made a mistake, didn't watch this video, or didn't understand something, your brokerage will let you know. And if you are stuck buying the shares, well, you can sell them back to the market right away and close out the trade. Then sell to close your long put and collect whatever value is left to offset the losses. Selling bull put spreads can be an excellent way to earn money during rising markets, which they usually are. But a bear market could hit at any time. That's why it's important to know the trade details at the beginning of the trade and set up your take profit and stop loss orders, especially if your brokerage allows it. Otherwise, you'll need to watch the trade and exit when it makes sense. Well, that's what I have for you today. If you haven't already, please join my Discord channel where I'm there all the time. And of course, happy to answer all of your questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you